In this video, I'm going to show you some keyboard shortcuts that are built into Visual Studio that are going to make your life so much easier. The more code Visual Studio can write for you, the better, because it will be accurate and you won't make some of the mistakes that you otherwise would have made. So let me show you some of these keyboard shortcuts. So one of the things that we typically do in a program is we write a lot of if statements. So if I want to write an if statement, you just type the word if and hit tab twice. Tabs. And now what it has done is it has stubbed out an if statement, and I just have to put my condition in here. And I have my closing parenthesis and my opening parenthesis, or my open curly brace and my closing curly brace. And that way I can't kind of accidentally forget, one or the other or something like that. So there's an if statement for me. Now what if I needed an else statement to close this, like an if this, do this, otherwise do that, right? Else, tab. And Visual Studio will stub that out for me. What if I wanted an else if, right? Else if, tab. So now I can make a set of linked if statements very easily. If this, do that. Otherwise, if this is true, do that. Otherwise, finally, do this thing. All right, so that's how you can make if statements. If tab, and else tab. So what else do we have besides besides if statements? What if we wanted to write a loop? Well, there's different types of loops. There's for loops, there's while loops, there's for each loops. If you just type the name of the loop and hit tab twice, Visual Studio will make it for you. Let's say I want to make a for loop, F-O-R, tab. Boom, there it is. Now I can just go change my variable names and my length, and it's stubbed it all out for me, so I don't have to remember that. All right, so there's a for loop, for, tab. What if I want a for each loop? There's a type of loop called a for each loop. For each, tab. It stubs it out for me. There it is. I don't have to remember how to write the syntax for that. What about a while loop? While, tab. There it is. It stubbed it out for me. How about a do while loop? Let's try that. Do, tab. We don't really use do while loops very often, but there they are. Okay, so if statements, else statements, and all our loops have autocompletes. If you know about exception handling, try catch blocks. Try, tab. There we go. See, it stubs it all out for us. Try this. If it blows up, catch the error here. That is very useful. What if we wanted to make a whole new class of object here? You can just type the word class. It will stub it out for you. What if you want a constructor in your class? I know we haven't gotten to constructors yet, or classes. CTOR, that's short for constructor, tab. It will make you a constructor. So just be aware that there are many of those keyboard shortcuts. The if is the one that I tend to use most of the time. And finally, here's a very useful one for when we're doing our console apps and we're writing to the console. CW, console write, tab. Will expand to console.writeLine, and then you can put your message in there, blah, 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 blah. So there is another real useful keyboard shortcut. What else? Oh, there's one more. Let's see. Switch statements. If you know what that is, it's like an if statement. Switch, tab. Boom. It will switch out. It will write a switch statement for you. So there you go. Those are typically there's more, but those are the ones that we're going to run into. I think the ones to know is if, else, and then your different loop types, for each, while. I think that's probably enough to save you a whole lot of aggravation. So just remember, use these things. The more you use the compilers built in IntelliSense to write your code, the fewer mistakes you're going to have to deal with.